In the serene village of Umuawa, nestled between lush green hills, Nurse Amara was a name on every pregnant woman's lips. She was the only trained nurse in the small village clinic, a place where life and death often danced on the edges of uncertainty. Nurse Amara was more than just a nurse. She was a beacon of hope for many. Her presence brought comfort to anxious mothers-to-be. She visited their homes, offering advice, prayers, and small gifts. Her words were always sweet, her smile gentle. Pregnancy is a journey, she would often say, clasping their hands. And I am here to help you every step of the way. But there was something about Amara that no one noticed, an air of mystery that clung to her like a shadow. Over the years, strange things began happening in Umuawa. Women who gave birth to baby girls at the clinic often experienced complications during delivery. Those who managed to bring their daughters into the world lost them within days. The deaths were sudden and unexplainable. Nena, a mother of 4 boys, was one of the few who dared to question the odd pattern. Why is it that only baby girls are affected? She whispered to her neighbor, Ada. Ada shrugged. It's fate. Perhaps God wants more sons in this village. But the whispers didn't stop. Some women began to avoid the clinic, opting to give birth at home. Yet, Amara's charm remained powerful. Most dismissed the incidents as coincidence or bad luck. Amara is the best nurse we have, said Ifeoma, a first-time mother. Without her, who will care for us? Ezin, a young expectant mother, was among those who still trusted Nurse Amara. She was in her final trimester when she started noticing unusual signs. Her dreams were plagued by visions of a crying baby girl and a shadowy figure. Each time she awoke, she felt a deep unease. When Ezin shared her concerns with her husband, Chike, he dismissed them as the result of stress. You're just anxious, he said. Everything will be fine. But Ezine couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. She started praying fervently, asking God for protection over her unborn child. One fateful night, Ezine went into labor unexpectedly. Chick rushed her to the clinic. Nurse Amara was on duty and greeted them warmly, her usual reassuring smile in place. Don't worry, my dear, she said. You are in safe hands. The delivery was long and exhausting when Ezine finally gave birth to a healthy baby girl. Tears of joy filled her eyes, but as she rested, she noticed something odd. Amara was unusually quiet and avoided eye contact. Later that night, while Ezine dozed, Chiki stepped outside to get some fresh air. As he passed by a dimly lit corridor, he noticed Nurse Amara carrying a bundle wrapped in white cloth. Something about her hurried steps made him uneasy. Silently, he followed her down the corridor to a small storage room at the back of the clinic. Peeking through a crack in the door, Chick's heart pounded as he saw Amara kneeling before a clay altar. The bundle she carried was Ezine's baby's dress, now soaked in what looked like blood. Beside her was a calabash filled with the same dark liquid. Chike watched in horror as Amara began chanting strange incantations, her face twisted in a grotesque expression. Unable to contain his anger, Chike burst into the room. "What are you doing with my child's clothes?" he thundered. Amara froze, her eyes wide with fear. Before she could hide the calabash, other staff members, alerted by the commotion, arrived. Seeing the scene before them, they gasped in shock. Realizing she had been caught, Amara confessed. For years, she had been serving a dark altar that demanded the blood of innocent baby girls. In exchange, she received promises of wealth and power. Her kind gestures were a calculated act to win the trust of pregnant women. "I had no choice," she cried, tears streaming down her face. "The spirits would have taken my life." The news spread like wildfire, and the entire village erupted in anger and grief. Mothers who had lost their daughters wailed, their cries echoing through the night. Fathers clenched their fists in rage. "How could she betray us like this?" cried Ada, who had lost her newborn daughter months ago. Amara was dragged before the village elders. After heated deliberation, she was banished from Umuawa, never to return. The clinic was closed for spiritual cleansing, and a pastor was called to pray over the building. Ezine's baby survived, but the incident left a lasting scar on the community. At a meeting held days later, the chief elder addressed the women of the village. "Let this be a lesson to us all," he said. "Evil often hides behind kind faces. Pregnant women must be vigilant and prayerful. Trust in God, not man." From that day, the women of Umuawa became more prayerful and discerning. They learned to listen to their instincts and to seek God's protection over their children. The story of Nurse Amara became a cautionary tale, passed down from generation to generation. It served as a reminder that not everything that glitters is gold, and that faith and vigilance are a pregnant woman's greatest shields.
For more African folk tales and realistic stories with moral lessons, kindly like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thank you.